So on today's episode of the Evercade Effect, we're going to talk about are these Atari collections enough? Or do I need a 2600 plus? I'm going to give you my reasons why or why not, so stay tuned.
I'm Warren Davis, and you're watching the Evercade Effect.
Evercade Effect.
Hello, and welcome to the channel, or if you're new and subscribed, thank you so much for coming back. Alright, so this has been a topic that I brought up on Evercast. I've been thinking a lot to myself, do I really need a new 2600 plus console, or, do I get my fix off of Evercade cards? And I'm not including the arcade collection because this is strictly just the consoles. The 2600 and plenty of the arcade games. And on and off over the last few weeks, I've been playing, on the VS with both carts in. I've been playing on the handhelds, and I do have 2 copies of Atari for when I replaced an Evercade. So if you see that the times might be off and all that, when I go ahead and jump in to the OG handheld here. So yeah, we're going to go into the OG handheld. We're going to take a look at the games, and I'm going to break it down. I figured it would be easier this way. That way we can just kind of dive into this, and I can tell you the games that I play and why or why not, and if it's good enough, or I need a 2600. And it all did start, on the OG itself, so it makes it fitting. So yeah, I want to go through these. We got a lot of games, kind of what I play, if I play them, and then at the end I'll come to the conclusion. So let's start off, and we're gonna talk about adventure. And so, this game has extreme nostalgia for me, and I love it. I don't really play a lot of this on Evercade, as you can see by the 0 minutes. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously though, I really like this game. But when I'm playing my Atari games, I want that arcade experience. It's not something that I want to really go through, and I don't want a thinking person's game. If I'm being totally honest here, I really don't. So yeah, I love that game, but yeah, not something that I play a lot. That's going to come on the 2600. I have that, so that kind of cancels out. Alien Brigade. Well, this game is interesting. I played it a few times, but not really my cup of tea. Okay, now we're starting to get into the meat sauce of all this. So, oh my god, adventure. I freaking love this game. When I go in and I pop in this collection, I play this every single time. I'm not gonna lie. I love adventure. I mean, Aqua Adventure. It is just so great. I'm always trying to see if I can beat my score. So yeah, I at least will always go in and play it once, if not a few times in a row. I love it. Asteroids. I know this is one of my buddy's Richard's favorite games. I play this occasionally. It's not horrible. I think I like maybe the Lynx version's better. But yeah, that's fairly great. Cannon Bomber, no, never played that. We can skip over that. Centipede. So let's talk about that. So the original Centipede, it's still solid. It's very fun. It gives you a different experience. It plays a little bit faster than I like on the 2600. If I'm being totally honest, I like the 7800 version better. Of course, that's not on this collection. So yeah. But if I just pop in this collection and I want to play Centipede, I'm going to go ahead and play it. Totally honest. Yeah. It's still fun to play. Crystal Castles, for me the 2600 version is horrible. Never play it. Desert Falcon, never play it. Double Dunk, never play it. Those are the game Food Fight! Oh my god, I love this game so much. So fun fact, before I owned the Evercade, I never played this game. I never even really heard about it. But I kept hearing great things. People were saying such good things about this game. And then it's one of those games that I fell in love with this immediately when I got an Evercade. I love it. This is the best, in my opinion, and this will come into play later, this is the best Atari game for me personally on both collections. It's Food Fight, flat out. I play this, I keep trying to beat my score, keep playing it again. I play this more than even the arcade version that I own, let's say, on the Atari 50th that I can play on my Steam Deck. Absolutely love it. By far the best game. Worth owning alone just for this collection, or even an Evercade worth owning just for this game. I really like that. Gravatar, not my cup of tea. Missile Command, yes. So I think I do like the Lynx versions better, but you know what? I love this version. I think because it's designed for a D-pad. The arcade, the Atari arcade collection was meant for a trackball. It's not as, kind of like Centipede. It's not as, the controls aren't there. Not only that, I love how the 2600 version, you just press one button, and like the arcade, you press three. It was definitely designed for a home console. Absolutely love this game. I always jump in and give it a play. It's super fantastic. Motorcycle, not really. Night Driver, not really. Ninja Golf, yes. So I love this. This game is one of those games that has more depth into it as you get into it. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy. You can get on a good run, try to beat your score. It gets really hard. Definitely one of my top. I always play this again. Notice I start gravitating kind of towards 1700 games by looking at this. Steeplechase, no. And I know they fixed it without being able to needing to use like a paddle. Not really. Sword Quest, you have to have the bullet. Not really. Tempest, not really a good version. I know Pinball. A lot of people love this version of Pinball. It's just not for me. Can't really get into it. And Yar's Return is total friggin' garbage. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. The original is so much better. I absolutely hate this game. So that's collection 1. Now let's go ahead and pop in 2. And take a look at it. I think on 2 there's maybe not as much, but yeah, well, let's go through this and then stick with me. You'll see why this is important, because the type of games that I like and what makes it interesting for me really will determine, at the end of this, if this, if the 2600 plus is something that I need or not. Okay, Air Sea Battle. You really can need more than 2 players, not as much. For me, this is the version of Asteroids to play. Again, not a huge Asteroids fan. It is a good game. I just don't find myself playing it a lot. Basketball, meh. Bowling, and I don't know. It's not something I jump into and play. Centipede, yes! So this might be, for me, the best console version of Centipede, because the controls are tight, the graphics are great, the sounds are on par with the arcade. It's the thum 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 thum. I mean, even the 2600 one is still really good. But yeah, I freaking love this. This is great. A go-to as well that I will jump in and play, and one of my favorite games actually on the second cart. So Dark Chambers, I don't play the 2600 version by itself. I will play the 7800 version, although it is not my favorite game. It's a good game, but there are other games that I like more, like the games that I've talked about, if I'm being honest. I like more, because really my main issue with this game, if you play it on normal difficulty, it's so easy. It is incredibly easy, and then you just get to the point where, for me, it's more of the same. If you put on the hard difficulty, it's really hard, which I like a lot more, but there's not much of balance. For me, I'd rather play Gauntlet. That's what I grew up playing. Not by any means horrible, not my favorite game, and you can't play it on the handheld. You're locked into the XP. That's the other downside. That's probably why it doesn't get as much play. Still a good game. Oh my god, Demons of Diamond. So this game is meant to be a paddle game. Plays really great. This is another one of those kind of score chase games. Yeah, I'll jump in and play this. Easy to pick up and play, difficult to master. I love it. Desert Falcon is a really weird one. I really want to get into this. I like the 7800 version better, but No Burning Desire. I usually don't jump in and play this a lot. Haunted House. I know a lot of people like it, but I like the ones better in the Atari 50. Don't really jump in and play. Same with this. Millipede does see some play, because that's the best version we have here. To be honest, if I really want to get into it, I would probably play it on my Steam Deck, where I can use the analog controller, since it's the arcade version. You need it designed for a trackball. Did I say you need a trackball? Did I say it was really designed for a trackball? Yeah, that burns my ass. So, anyways, back to this. So yeah, this I will play. You get kind of like Centipede, gets the job done. But yeah, it's good and all that. Planet Smashers is an interesting one. There was a time where I did play this a lot. It is a kind of a cool, different, weird shoot 'em up. Haven't played it in a while, but I'll go back and play this every now and then. Radar Lock, not really. Real Sports Tennis, Solaris, no. For me, there aren't as many good games on the second one. All these other games, no, they just doesn't do it. So Yar's Revenge, yes. So I love Yar's. What more can you say? I can also play it on deck. I got more ways to play this game, but yeah, it's great. So really what I wish is that, if you could take Centipede, Demons of Diamonds, and then Yar's and add them to the collection one. Admittedly, I would never pop in this cart. because there just really isn't anything else that just, ooh, you know, does it for me here. Yeah, those are really, and if I'm being perfectly honest too, Atari 1 collection, that is the main Atari collection that I just, I go back and I play again and again, and it really, it really does it for me. Food Fight, Aqua Adventure, but I wish Centipede is on there. That's kind of the only one. Centipede and Yars, especially Centipede. So even though, when it first came out, there was hype, like, yeah, I want to play some other games and all this and all that. For me, it's just, to be honest, well, I do love Atari and all that. Having the Evercade collection, yeah, it does it for me. I don't think at this point I wanna start collecting for something else, and have to get like a whole nother collection and everything. Just seems like it would be, kind of at that point, having to collect for another ecosystem. And then if I really do want to play those other games, sure, I could throw them on deck, but I haven't yet though. So for me, I don't need to have the official Atari experience. As I think it's a combination of just I'm fine with the Evercade, and that I just maybe don't want to have to go through collecting something else. Plus, who knows if a lot of those games would come on, will come on here. The paddles would have been nice, but there's one other reason too. I don't want to spoil anything, but if this does work out, I will be able to play these other games I have here. So, yeah, my Game Boy Advance collection. Popping out, take it out of the case. So here you can see we have the Activision Anthology Collection. Oh! And so really those other games, pretty much everything but Dragonfire that I would want to play is on that collection. And now keep in mind, this is the way that I have to play it, and the screen isn't that great. Especially if I've gotten older, gotten different, prescription of glasses and whatnot. But I don't know yet, but in the foreseeable future, let me just say I could have a better way to play those Game Boy Advance games, which would mean the Activision Anthology Collection. I'll be able to play that. But again, if not, I could just emulate it. But even if so, even let's say if I'm not able to do that, for now, Evercade, it's very nostalgic. Having all those cart games on the cart, being able to play all those Atari games, I'm happy with that. I'm satisfied with that. I don't think I really need to play Food Fight per se with the controller. I was, with the joystick. I like playing it with the Evercade controller. Different experience on the VS compared to the handheld. But I think that's good for me for now, and that's the decision I made. If you've made the decision that you want to get the 2600 plus, go ahead and comment below if you're like me and Evercade does it for you, or if you have other means to play Atari. Let's get a conversation going. I'd really like to hear what you have to say. Really, there's no right or wrong way. As long as you enjoy the way to play games, that's all that matters. Last thing I do want to say is that if you do want to further support the channel, memberships have been up for a while, and for $1.99 a month, you can support the channel, and you can get access to members-only footage, behind the scenes, and all that. And I just did want to say that, for these next few that are coming up, I'll have very special footage from one Evercast, which is the weekly podcast. Used to be on Pete's channel, and I would do like a Did You Know section, and it's a good kind of cringe. And it'll be fun, and it'll be in a series, and I'll put a few of them together. So if you'd like to see access to that, if you'd like to see derps or outtakes, that's a great way to support the channel. By no means you have to do this. I just appreciate you watching my videos. But if you could sub to the channel, we're so close to 1,000. If you're not already subbed, that would be excellent. And with that, I am going to say bye-bye.